Welcome back to another awesome video.
Today we're setting up the Reolink Duo 2 POE camera, which has some very unique features. And no, I'm not talking about the fact that when you put it on a tripod, it looks like that robot from the 1986 movie Short Circuit. No, the main standout feature of this thing is it's actually two cameras, that is two lenses in the same housing, generating independent pictures that are digitally combined or stitched together on the fly to produce a single output image. In addition to being generally curious about this category of dual lens security cameras, I also picked this camera because of its built-in LED motion security light. And the motion light, like everything else on the camera, only needs a power over Ethernet connection, so I was able to add a motion light to a dark corner of my house without running a separate AC power line. And as you can see here, the new camera definitely covers more area and has a very crisp widescreen image. Besides the dual lens and the motion light, there are a lot of other interesting features here, some of which we will show later in the video, including two-way audio, a Siren, and phone app connectivity. It also has a very user-friendly web interface. I was able to simply boot the camera and go to the IP address assigned by my router without creating accounts, installing software, or giving away any personal information. But unfortunately, it wasn't always good news with this camera, as I found the Reolink camera did not play nicely with Blue Iris at first until I did some tweaking. If you haven't heard of Blue Iris, it is security software. It runs on your PC. It is really flexible and really lets you build a custom system, avoid vendor lock-in, ongoing fees. It is just great. It could be the subject of its own video. Unfortunately, connecting this camera to Blue Iris in the default sort of out-of-box mode caused it to crash after a few hours. It killed the Blue Iris connection and the web interface itself. But I was able to fix it by applying some setting changes I found online in the Amazon reviews. So one of the main questions about these types of cameras is, how does the image stitching work? Well, not 100% well. In my tests in the house with the ruler, I found that it looked pretty good more than, about 6 feet away in the room. But up close, if I fixed it with the ruler, it messed up far away. So I thought, well, no problem. Everything in the camera is going to be far away. But unfortunately, once I got it outside, I could see the effects even worse. If I corrected it, for example, to make the truck hood appear correct, this tree in the background was a double image. So it's not going to be perfect.
I've seen like YouTube and stuff, and they do it like in VFX, but this is like doing it live.
Yeah, this is not obviously Hollywood quality VFX image stitching. It doesn't have to be for surveillance purposes, but that's what you get. It's worth mentioning everything up to this point I did without using the app. And then I went ahead and installed the app, and so we could test out the two-way audio and the Siren. So let's give that a try.
Yes.
App installation was very straightforward. It does require you to create a password to go with the admin account on the camera, which is just admin and a blank password. And interestingly, after giving it no information other than admin and a password, I found that the app would allow remote viewing off of my Wi-Fi network over the internet. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I have not given it any information or registered for anything. So they're essentially providing remote viewing for free. Great for the consumer, but for the curious person like me, I ran a TCP dump on the router and found the camera was using an IP address belonging to Oracle Corporation. Probably Reolink purchased some sort of cloud services from them, but I'm not sure why or how long this would work for free. Maybe the thing to do is just block it from internet access unless you're going out of town, then turn it on, because I don't know where that data is going.
Hello, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Say hello. Can you say something?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're very quiet.
Hello, can you hear me?
Is there any way to turn up the volume? Yes, I can hear you. Get out of my eye.
All right, so the audio alarm. That's not that impressive. So two-way audio was functional through the app. It's not incredibly loud. Probably someone out in the street would notice that the siren or something was making noise and have to walk over. So in certain situations it would be functional. Other times it would be easily drowned out by traffic noise. What you're seeing now is a sample of a Blue Iris recording to see the infrared night vision. It did have the motion detection on for cars, so it would switch the night vision into color because of the spotlight, but I disabled that, which seems to work fine. Okay, it's time to wrap up the video with some final thoughts. First, the concept of the dual lens. I don't know if I'll return to it. Maybe I'm too OCD for the imperfect stitching, or the fact that, it's not that much cheaper than buying two high quality cameras. I'm not sure I would come back to the dual lens situation. So, in my opinion, the Reolink camera itself is not as a high performer as a Daiwa or Lorita, our last camera, but again, that's its reputation. It's a more affordable camera, and while the initial stability issues I encountered with Blue Iris were disappointing, it wouldn't prevent me from buying a Reolink camera in certain situations, especially with all the consumer-friendly add-ons and features they have. I think the standout feature for me was the motion light, which gives me something I didn't have before, which is a highlight if somebody comes near a certain section of my driveway, and that's kind of cool.
Stop, you! See you next time for another awesome video.